Welcome and thank you for joining our Music for Global Change broadcast with founder and music ambassador Skyler Jett and presenter Tom Bryant and Ryan Shuchuk. And our special guest today is Esther Austin.
Welcome to the show, Esther Austin. You are a talk show host and broadcaster. You have your own show, which is On the Sofa with Esther. You also are a celebrity interviewer and promoter. And you're also the chief editor of Turning Point, Your Lifestyle, Your Wellbeing magazine. So loads more to talk about with you and what you do, Esther. So welcome to the show, and please tell us more.
I guess that everything that I'm about, gentlemen, is about transforming lives. And even though I do a lot in the entertainment world, the media, I'm in it, but as they say, I'm not of it, if that makes sense.
Right.
Yeah. For me, it's about creating your own unique signature look and style to hold on to your individuality. And so even though I've got all these different vehicles, that is the message about having fun, but also holding on to your authentic individuality. And that's what it is across the board. So I would say that the universe has gifted me with many different gifts. And I've created all these vehicles out of those gifts. But the ultimate aim is to show people, stand in your personal power, stand in your truth, and discover all the gifts that you've been given.
Yeah.
In a nutshell.
In a nutshell. But more. There's more. Man, you interview all kind of amazing people. Can you share with us some of the people you had on?
I feel blessed that, we say celebrities, but I like to use the words pioneers and legends, because for me, it gives more depth and richness of who I interview. So some of the people that I've been privileged to interview, Shalimar, the late Mary Wilson, the former Supremes, Nile Rodgers, Sister Sledge, did I say the 3 Degrees? John Wilson from Sly, Slick and Wicked, Gregory Williams from Switch, so many, Stephen Colazzo from Odyssey, lovely guys, so many, and lots of them are old school legends. Motown, they were in Motown. I interviewed William Mickey Stevenson. He was Motown's first A&R man. He's so funny. He is so funny, but he's also so down to earth as well. Yeah. And he is all about heart and soul. And, yes, an A&R man discovers talent, but he really is, he's so down to earth and so authentic with it. So those are just some of the people that I've had the privilege, I would say, of interviewing. Rough Ends, After 7. Yeah, lots of the Emotions.
Yeah.
Lots of beautiful people. Paulie Carmen from Champagne, he's so cool.
Yeah.
He is just so, you can feel the love in these people. They are just so cool and so authentic and so down to earth.
Yeah, he's a dear friend of mine too. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow. Now you just got back from South Africa.
I did indeed.
Tell us about that.
Well, South Africa was basically, there's an event called Fame Week Africa, and it's been running in Cannes and also China for a while, but this is the first time it's been in South Africa. And what they want South Africa to become the Los Angeles of the creative and the entertainment world. So it was a B2B event where businesses came together to, make connections, and there were producers, directors there, musicians, and it's a platform where they want to bring people into Africa to discover African talent as well, and to really start to, showcase Africa the way it needs to be showcased with all the incredible talent there.
Well, Tom and I and Ryan, we'd like to come over and maybe do a workshop or something like that. Yeah,
definitely. We can. Yeah. I told you already. I'll put your details forward. We can present you to them. That you are on their radar from, especially with your lyrical content around social consciousness.
That's right.
That's really important.
Yeah, and we just had Bonga Kwana on our show.
Oh yeah, Bonga. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. We have another Karma is coming on our show pretty soon too.
Okay,
nice. Ryan, you got a question?
I do. Going back to the aspect of interviewing numerous legends, primarily, was it television and radio? I know you have a YouTube channel as well. I wanted to kind of get your thoughts on where you put YouTube as a platform, I guess, moving forward in competition with radio and traditional, I guess, digital media.
Okay, with the YouTube, so basically the platform that I'm on at the moment is called Soul TV. It's a Facebook platform, but we're sort of moving over into Roku.
Okay.
And so the YouTube channel is literally my channel. I'm keeping a hold of my brand, and they are aware of it because I've told them. So I'm on their platform, but also I put all the interviews I do onto my platform as well.
Gotcha. Okay.
So that's where there's that crossover and synergy. In terms of where I see it in terms of, like you said, traditional radio and TV. Mm-hmm. I guess for me, it's whatever doors open up that resonate with me at that moment in time. If an opportunity came for me to do some stuff on TV, would I do it? Yes.
Sure.
If it's got the right energy and vibration around it. And also with radio, Ellen Soul Radio is also part of Soul TV. And so they put out the shows via internet radio as well. So it's about using the different mediums which reach different people in different ways in different places.
Yeah.
Does that answer your question?
It does. Yeah. I'm curious. I'm in marketing as well. I'm in digital marketing as well. So I'm just trying to pick your brain a little bit on just where you see, the media going to, you know what I mean? Like obviously social media is a huge push right now especially for the music world and things like that. But I truly feel like YouTube is going to take a bigger foothold in broadcast across the world. So I just kind of wanted to get your thoughts on that. Somebody who's been in it, you know what I mean, in the trenches.
Yeah. Well, I would say it's because I've got someone that's working with me, so we're actually looking to build out that platform because I literally don't have the capacity.
Sure.
I upload and then hope for the best, but I know there's a strategy.
Yeah. The algorithms. Yeah.
And I just don't have the capacity. But there's someone that's working with me in terms of rebranding, and we're going through a rebranding process of everything, and then driving it down.
Yeah, I did see on your Facebook page that it's Esther Austin Global, right? You're doing a bit of a rebranding right now. It said renewal, restructured. Can you tell us a little bit more about that rebranding? So
the rebranding is just making things tighter and clear in terms of what I offer, and also just giving the front end a more polished interface.
Gotcha.
So because what I had before was On the Sofa with Esther, Turning Point Magazine, and Esther Austin Global. Yeah. And on the other platforms, I had Esther Austin Global and Turning Point Magazine. So what we're doing, I'm going to be getting rid of the On the Sofa page so that everything is just magazine.
Cohesive. Got it.
Yeah, so it's all been streamlined. And the thing is, sometimes when you're an entrepreneur, you know this, you keep going, you do what you got to do, but you need somebody, an expert on the side to come in and tweak, tidy up, and talk about algorithms and talk about hashtags and all that stuff.
Right.
So yeah.
Wow. Very cool. Well, we're excited to see.
Yeah.
I noticed you had green hair on all of your imagery, and I was like, oh, I love it. I love that hair.
I'm going to go back to that. I just needed, it's funny, when I went to South Africa, people were like, where's your blue hair or where's your green hair? Yeah. But I needed to give it a break because, when you color it too much, it breaks. So I've given it a break.
Right.
I've started loxing it as well.
Yeah.
Because I'm lazy. I'm lazy. I get busy and lazy. So
it's a trip because when I started my dreads, first of all, like this African brother, he said, "Hey, Skyler, what happens when you cut your hair off?" I said, "Grow back." He said, "What's it trying to tell you?"
I'm cutting
it. Okay, stop cutting. Let it go. That's your mane. If you're a lion, that's your mane. Oh, it's crazy. Tom, you got a question?
Yeah, I do. Well, first of all, what got you into doing the interviewing, that kind of thing that you started out with there? How did you start that? And also, with regards to the interviews and the people that you have on your shows, how do you get the interviews? Do you approach them, or do they approach you a little bit? Is it kind of a bit of a two-way thing if they've heard of what you're doing? How does that work?
Okay. What was the first question? So my brain is so.
The first question is, how did you get into the interviewing thing in the first place? Where did that stem from for you? Is that something you've always had a passion for, or where did it come from?
Okay, I got into the interview thing ages ago. I think it must have been about 15 years ago. I had a book out at the time, and I had approached a radio station in Brixton at the time just to promote the book. But they loved my profile, so they said, rather than you come in and promoting the book, why don't you do a show? And I also remember for my first show, I interviewed Rachel Elner from Dragon's Den. And they said, God, you're ambitious. You've never done radio before, and you're interviewing Rachel Elnor from Dragon's Den. But I guess I'm the sort of person that I jump into things because if I feel it's right and I feel it's there, I just jump into it. Mm-hmm. I take that plunge. And so that's how the radio started. So over the years, I've been on a few radio stations, and I tried to set up mine at one point, but things really took off. So my name was banded around to different stations. So that's how I ended up on Ellen So Radio. That's how I ended up on Soul TV. I mean, ultimately, I want my own platform, which I'm building out at the side. So that's how that sort of transitioned. In terms of where I get people from, it's a mixture. I'm kind of like a pit bull, right? So, and
I like this.
So there's two things. I'm like a pit bull, and also I know this might sound a bit woo-woo, but oftentimes if I'm sort of meditating or I'm sitting down, then I'll just go after that person, and I'll go online, find their details, call up their PR or send an email, and that's how I get people. And I know a lot of times, a lot of people look at me like that, I have to say it's not that easy, but it has been for me. And also apparently because my name is being banded around now and people know the essence of my show. I'm getting, I feel like the BBC sometimes. I feel quite inundated sometimes, but that's a good thing. That's a good thing.
Sure.
Yeah.
Stay busy.
Brilliant.
On that same note, Esther, I feel like this is just a session of me getting to pick your brain, but as an entrepreneur. But on that note of the interviewing, we've got this show. I'm doing this show. Got some other projects. I mean, do you have any advice for the budding hosts out there, whether it be podcasts or YouTube or television? Do you have any advice for how to become a better interviewer?
I would say watch the top interviews. It's always the same. You learn from who you are around.
Okay.
So just observe and watch other people's interview styles and techniques. And then in between that, you'll find your own. And one thing I always have around me, I always have people around me like Anthony B. Williams. He's part of Soul TV. And after a show or something, we always critique or give feedback. Always like, what can I do better? How can I do things better? And so that's what I would say to anyone. Look at who's done what before, and always have someone that will give you constructive criticism, not destructive criticism. There's a difference. And always aspire to do better than you've done before. You've got to hold yourself accountable as well. And so that's the piece of advice that I would give. And also just keep going. Sometimes you might have a show that might not be as good as another show, but then just sit back and think, okay, what can I do? What went wrong? And another piece of advice, which is important, there's that saying, the show must go on. Yeah. If something goes wrong, go to plan B and C, just hold the face in front of the camera, hold the face because I've had to do that so many times, and so for instance, last year I had the Emotions on with Lloyd G. Williams. He was the original voice of Shout and some others, but I got my times wrong because you've got PST, EST, all those different time zones. And then I saw in the waiting room, they were all there and then they came on. So I was typing, I had to get my phone, I had to type to Anthony to say, the one in the UK, please contact her. And I'm typing, but I'm talking at the same time. So you have to just look, don't allow it to kerfuffle you.
Right.
Okay.
But it is now. But just continue. As they say, the show must go on.
Yeah. That's right.
Just roll with the punches.
Yeah.
That's right. Or make a joke of it. Make a joke of it,
Well, we fake it till we make it, Yeah.
That's right.
Tom, you got another question?
Yeah, I mean, just off the back of that, I suppose, is there anybody you haven't yet being able to kind of interview, is there anyone in your sights at the moment for somebody that you perhaps wanted to talk to or take it to on your next? Obviously you're rebranding now, but you still wanting to do the interview side, so is there anybody else that you're now gunning for or looking to work with? George
Benson and Stevie Wonder. I'd really love to get those two. Yeah, those are the two that I'm gunning for, so I'm just looking for a way in. Inroads. Yeah.
They called me trying to get on your show, but I told them, you got to pay the agent. You got
you got to split the proceeds, Skyler.
What?
That's the agent,
Yeah, pay the agent.
About the money.
Yeah, Tom's a singer too, right?
I am. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. What sort of genre? What are you? Country, western?
No, not at all, really. No, I sing I sing 4-part harmony a cappella, so I sing barbershop style. So I've done that for 30 plus years. So yeah.
Oh, can you give us a rendition?
Oh yes, please.
No, I can't give you a rendition. No,
we'll bring you in, Tom. We'll snap it in.
I'll snap.
Yes.
We're a quartet right now. Let's just go.
This is true. No, it's but yeah, it's good fun. I mean, we some of the music we do is very old. We're talking 1920s, that kind of era. But we've just started. Oh, wow. We've just started. I mean, for the first time in a long while, the most up to date is kind of Lion King stuff like that. From the Lion King.
Oh, nice.
That kind of stuff. I like that, and Les Mis, that kind of stuff. So it's all 4-part harmony based, unaccompanied. It's a male voice choir, basically. So yeah, I've done that.
Okay, nice. Yeah. I'm sort of seeing a hit the road jack sort of thing with you as well.
Yeah, that probably work. It's not been done yet, but it would probably work. Yeah.
That would be cool. That would be now. Esther, you a singer too.
Okay.
I am. I have to own it. I'm going to do something with it. For years, people have said you've got a good voice, and when people say that, I sort of shut down. But I'm ready to own it and step into it and get some training around it, and then see where it leads. Because that's all part of creativity. In South Africa, I was talking to I was just being asked about what I do because I went to a braai or brie, their barbecue. And I said, I do this. And someone goes, oh, you do that as well? And I'm like, well, with creativity, there's no limit.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
There's no limit. And for me, I've got this butterfly inside of me that just wants to expand. I'm like a child. I love to dance. I did a bit of hip hop training some years ago. It's just because I want to.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why not?
Because I want to.
Are you a dancer as well?
I can dance. They call me the dancing queen as well. But we've all got gifts. And the thing is, it's only because I'm passionate. And when the music hits your soul as well, I feel like a James Brown sometimes. I'm surprised that my knees can do what they do.
Yeah, break it down.
Love it.
But it is about it's about stepping into that freedom. And life can be incredibly challenging at the best of times. So when you have those moments when you can express and be free, just be it. Mm-hmm. Be it as much as you can.
Yeah. Well, like I want to see, I'd love to come out and see you sing. I know I turned you on to a great vocal teacher. We're going to have her on the show pretty soon too. Laura Austrian. Did she get back to you?
Yes, she did. Yes. So I need to give her a call.
She did.
Conversation. Okay. But yeah.
Yeah, because she teaches speech level singing, and Seth Riggs was, like I said, he was Michael Jackson's vocal teacher, and Stevie Wonder, right?
Wow. Oh, wow.
No. This guy's in LA. He's the deal. You know what I mean? Talking about your TV show.
Yeah,
it's radio or TV.
I say TV. I mean, it's a videoed interview, which is broadcast on Facebook, and then it's gonna be on Roku. It's on Roku. We're just uploading all them onto Roku. So I just say TV for want of a better presentation.
Is Soul TV? Is it its own network? Does it have its own programming? Or okay.
Yeah, it's its own network. So we're now branching out from Facebook onto Roku shortly. So yeah.
What are some of the other programs that you're looking to put on Soul TV on Roku?
Well, you contact us and we'll let you know.
Oh, okay. It's like you can have your own.
I've put in a word. I've put in a word as well. I've put in a word, but it's everything that's, because it's Soul TV. The programs have a heart and soul. So there's talk shows, there's music shows,
Okay,
and also sometimes we stream concerts as well. So yeah, it's a nice little sort of network or hub, I should say,
okay.
of interesting programs, and yeah.
I have a Roku. I'm gonna add the channel.
Okay. Well, after this, I will. Yeah, you'll get the details. Absolutely.
Okay, perfect. I'd love to check it out.
Wow. Now, I want to thank you for having me on your show.
Oh yeah, that was fun. That's fun.
Way cool. Then you went to LA, hang out with the movie stars and stuff like that. I know how it goes. I watch TV. I know how rich people do.
Yeah.
That was a privilege for me. That was a surprise, and also it was a nice privilege. To have lunch with Frida Payne, Wonder Woman of the Oceans, Denise Gordy, and Sherry Payne. Frida and Sherry, they're sisters, but they're just so funny. There's this. Frida is so young and so giggly, and Sherry, they're just so cool. And it was so cool where we had lamb chops with something for dinner, and Sherry looked down at her plate. She goes, "Esther, there's a lot of meat on those bones, isn't there?" And we looked around. It was quite a posh restaurant, and then I said, "Shall we?" So we picked up our bone. We just demolished.
Yeah. Show them how it's done. I love it.
And so somebody got us caught a picture of us smiling with these lamb bones just about reaching them out. But they're just so down to earth, and the stories that they shared there, the history that they shared. They talked about growing up and maybe beating up on each other, and it was just really down to earth.
Yeah.
So it was a nice surprise because I didn't really quite know where I was going and what I hadn't been invited to. And then Wanda Vaughn, who had not long had an operation with her knees, we did a little shimmy together, and it was just really cool, a little two-step.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of learning, and there's a lot of respect and of even understanding the industry in terms of them, their journey. It was nice.
So I'm gonna ask you, because we always ask to get an endorsement from people, Tom and I and Ryan, about music for global change, and teaching young people how to write social conscious lyrical content. What's your feelings about that?
That's important. I mean, you mentioned about coming to South Africa. Now, over there, it's a lovely country. It's, I would say the entertainment and creative industries are growing, but also there's a real issue around violence. And I was reading, I was reading that I got the magazine. In jail, the amount of young black men who were in jail through grievous bodily harm, aggravated assault, all those things. And so I feel something what you guys do would really help them to express that anger, turn around how they're really feeling, and hopefully, but also they've also got to see the vision and the hope from here to here. So they can do this, but where is it going to lead to? What can it lead to? And it's all about expression and turning things around. Yeah. So it's important. Even over here, it's important.
Yeah, everywhere. I mean, like I always say, people are tired of bad news, right?
Yeah.
Let's give them some good news. And you go in there with a smile and some solutions, and we're off and running, right?
And that's a key thing, solutions, but also it's the vibration of the music and the words as well. Yeah. Because, you listen to a lot of, I mean, I must admit, when my boys were teenagers and, they were listening to certain things, and I went into their room and, but then they did say they're talking about their experiences, Mum.
That's right.
And so, but then they also know that they can differentiate between that type of stuff and the stuff that's just propaganda, it's like propaganda of being a certain way. So it's all about the vibration of the music and the words. People don't understand about that. So what you're doing brings a different type of element into the world of what people are saturated with.
Mm-hmm. We're going to get a couple more questions in. Tom, you first.
You've mentioned already the rebranding that you're in the process of doing. What was the kind of thought process behind that rebrand? And aside from that, or if that's the thing, what's next for you? What's next on your to-do list as such?
Okay, well, the rebranding is I've needed some support with the social media, the whole look. And so someone came along, someone was recommended to me about 6 weeks ago, and he goes, I've looked at your stuff. He goes, to be honest, it's pretty poor. I said, okay, I know I can receive that. Because he goes, it just, what you've done at the moment just gives you this. But he goes, you're more than that. Mm-hmm. And I said, well, you interpret how you see me from a marketing perspective and do that for me. Because, you're coming with an expert marketing eyes. And also, it's also for me to get at it for what I present, to be very clear about what I'm offering. So you've got the magazine, you've got and then also the services. So one of the things that's really opening up for me now, I did British afternoon tea with Shalimar a couple of months ago, and they totally enjoyed it, I have to say. It was their first time.
Very nice.
But it was their first time having British afternoon tea, and they said they've been coming to the UK for 26 years, and they really enjoyed it. And it was also the first time outside of Shalimar, because usually they don't do things outside, that they actually came together for this, but they enjoyed it. So I've got one coming up with the 3 degrees at the end of this month. And then I got another call yesterday to say that there's another artist over, and they said, would you do an afternoon tea thing? I'm like, oh yeah. Because it's, for me, what I see with artists, they're out there, they're busy, and it's nice where they can come into a place that's, I would say, authentic. We hold a space where they can just be themselves. And I'm not going to be putting out selfies and all this. It's their space where they can come and have a great time. And talk without, having to think about paparazzi and all that sort of shimon. And then what's coming up is, some potential documentaries as well, because evolving from the interviews into documentaries, because there's been that request by a lot of artists to work with them.
Yeah, Dad, we need a documentary.
Yeah. I ain't scared.
Okay.
Let's go. You know what I mean? Anything,
I just had one last question. I'm not a great singer, Esther.
Okay.
I will preface this with that, but I would love to have afternoon tea with you. I mean, I've never even had afternoon tea. I don't even know what it is.
You've never had British afternoon tea?
I never have.
Shame on you, young man. Shame on you.
I know.
We can arrange that. The session that we had with Shalimar, it was just so funny. We just giggled. We giggled throughout the whole thing. It was, because that is almost like you could just be yourself, have some great food and in a nice environment, and enjoy this time. And like I said, I had a call last night for another artist who's in town, and I felt really privileged. But we just have fun.
Listen, I want to thank you so much for coming on our show.
Yes, thank you so much.
Thank you.
You know what I mean?
Thank you. I've enjoyed it.
Thank you for your privilege of your time. And
I've enjoyed this. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming on.
Music can save the world. If we all get together, music can save the world. Yeah. Music can save the world. Music can save the world. If we all come together, music can save the world. There's an urgency facing our humanity.
Thank you so much for watching. To stay up to date, please click subscribe and hit the bell. You can also join our group on Facebook and find us on LinkedIn and Instagram.